All right, so once again, we're back on the road. And I've got a special guest today here, Jason Armata. Is that right, Jason?
It's Damata, but
Jason Damata. But see, this is why we need a producer. We need to have somebody get these facts straight for me.
It's like, what's
Jason?
What's Damata with you, Dan?
Oh, what's Damata? Tomato Damata. Okay.
Fine.
Anyway, Jason's up here with us, working with Polar Bears International, and he's been in charge of a lot of the PR work that PBI's been putting out for, I don't know, how many years have you been working?
Well, we started with Explore about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and then we came on to help PBI explicitly 5 years ago.
Okay, cool. Well, Jason, you guys were heavily involved just yesterday with GMA.
My company's Fabric Media, and our mission is to help connect innovative companies with media.
I hate to interrupt, and this is what happens. This is what happens on the Roadshow.
That's amazing.
An animal pops up, and we've got to stop for just a second. We're going to talk to Jason about all those details.
This is much more interesting.
But there's two of them. There's one right behind the other.
Oh, yeah.
The two red fox.
So you're going to get the camera out now?
Yeah, we're going to get a camera out. Beautiful. Look at those guys. This is the Churchill River. So you've got this beautiful background of the ice chunks in the river and these two gorgeous foxes. Wow, they're pretty. Now, let me get my camera. Let me pull off a little bit, guys, and then.
Dan, you want me to drive on Digital Dan's Rambling Roadshow?
Well, I don't know. This is a very specialized Ford F-150 that I don't know. A lot of people. You got to be specially trained, Jason. He probably could handle it.
I'm happy to drive if you want.
I appreciate it. But I'm gonna. All right. Well, they're headed off the direction we're gonna eventually go. They may be going out there to Cape Mary. They kind of patrol the edges of the bay and along the river. They're looking for, they're out doing their daily routine, which is trying to find food and make a living. So let's just spin around here real quick.
Look at the crystals on this. What is that? The willows?
Those are just grasses. Yeah, that's all hoarfrost.
That's amazing.
Comes from a lot of moisture that grasses attract, and then it gets cold and it freezes, and you get that beautiful hoarfrost. The hoarfrost is kind of interesting because typically hoarfrost happens when the temperatures are warmer, and it has been fairly warm here, although it's finally starting to drop, and we're starting to see a lot more ice out on the bay.
So sparkly, huh?
So Jason, where were you on that?
Oh, I was just saying we help media companies a lot. So when we first came into contact with PBI, it was launching the live cams and building out a media network with Explore.
And that's explore.org, right?
Explore.org, that's right. We can see the cams today.
Right.
And, we came up and it was really historic when we launched the cams. I know there had been a smaller version of it before, but we went out and distributed it and just found an appetite for it around the world. And so my journey with PBI, we grew so close to everybody through that experience that Krista called me about 5 years ago and said, can you help? Instead of just a traditional PR approach to getting the word out, let's really try to partner with media organizations. A lot of what PBI does so well is educate, and how can we just be an extension off of those education programs and enlist these media companies, not just to write a one-off story. Think of us as media partners. Oh, here's the fox.
Yeah, here's the fox right here. They're coming right down through. Yeah. Okay, we'll pull down here. We'll pull down here and just park and see. Isn't he pretty? He's kind of. There should be another one behind him. We'll go out here and maybe they'll come down here by this little lake.
Now, you think he's trying to suck us into his world? That's what they do, don't they?
They do.
Right? And so then the other one can come pounce?
That's it. That's it. Wow, look at him. They're just so gorgeous. So interestingly, the red fox are making huge inroads. Basically, the thought is it's because of, the warming climate. We had seen them back in the 90s, but we didn't see them that often. We saw one every once in a while, and the little white Arctic fox is the one that you saw all the time. And now we see it's pretty much been swapped. We see mostly red foxes, and the little white foxes are much less prominent. And interestingly, we've actually seen situations where the red fox have killed the white fox. They're moving into the little white fox's territory, killing them and displacing them. It very well may be because of the change in climate and the fact that it's warmer up here.
So partners like yesterday, we had Good Morning America come out. That was really like a co-production. They retained their editorial integrity, of course, but we gave them all the information that they needed to tell a good story. We gave them all the facts, and they were able to get it right. But PBI gave them an infrastructure to broadcast, gave them the logistical support, gave them the access to Stephen and the scientists, as well as KT and BJ's, and they told a whole myriad of stories. I think, all in, I think they're walking away with about 20 minutes of storytelling. A lot of it happened in the morning show. It's happening in Dateline. It's happening across ABC properties. So I think that they did a really good job, and Mike Strahan did a really good job of delivering, the story about polar bears in general is just so fascinating. It's breathtaking, their journey, the conditions that they exist in. When you really start to empathize with their journey, it's wonderful. They connected that, the plight of the polar bears is connected to what's good for the polar bears is good for humanity. I think it's a key message, and I think they were able to get that across. This is my third time up here, and I got to say, it's great to see the bears, but just as impactful as spending time with all these amazing folks like yourself that have dedicated, decades to their plight and to helping them. And there's a real good culture at PBI. Everyone's respected and respectful. Everybody's got their own unique talents they bring to the table, and there's a great spirit of collaboration. So, as much as the environment is inspiring, I think just you can get caught in your little work silos, and it's good to reconnect with the material and with the people. For me.
I think that kind of explains it, and I appreciate you going over that with us. Thanks for joining me on the second edition of Digital Dan's Rambling Roadshow.
D2R2.
D2R2. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.